Yeah, that's it.
Woo!
Oh! Woo!
Wow. Yeah. We need to get out of the way.
What is going on, my fellow Jedi on the run? It is the Blind Prophet, and today I wanted to bring a video talking about the possibility of a beloved character making her way into the upcoming Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. With the release of the trailer recently, I came across a few details that could hint to the possibility of Ahsoka Tano having a presence in the newest adventure in the franchise. So without further hesitation, let's get right into this one. The Dead Clone Trooper. First off was a small detail I noticed during the trailer when our protagonist, Cal Kestis, squats down to pick up a holo projector from a dead clone trooper, which was not only awesome in imagery, as we haven't technically seen Phase 2 clone armor in the whole setting after the fall of the Republic, besides Rex and Gang and Rebels, but their armor was somewhat incomplete, whereas this clone looks to have died in battle with everything still intact. However, this clone seems to be painted in the color scheme of the 41st Elite Corps, which, when noticing this, I went down a list going through the fact that the 41st Elite was led by Jedi Commander Luminara Unduli, who was the master to Padawan Barriss Offee, and Barriss Offee tried to frame Ahsoka Tano for bombing the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. As a result, Ahsoka left the Order, thus making her a fallen Jedi of the Order. Jedi Fallen Order. Ahsoka Tano is the confirmed protagonist of the game, and Cal is a red herring. No, but seriously, this is a detail that I found interesting, being that the clone trooper had the device with the message still on it as we see the Emperor appear in front of Cal reciting his infamous Execute Order 66 from Revenge of the Sith. And I would like to believe that Cal is in search of Unduli, as the setting seems to look like a cave that could be in Kashyyyk, and that was where she was stationed before her demise. But the 41st weren't the only green troopers. There were also the 442nd Siege Battalion that were swamp troopers. And that might be our guy, being that in some concept art we can see Cal in somewhat marsh and swamp terrain. What's interesting about this though, there's no information on their whereabouts during Order 66, or even if they had a Jedi commander, being that they were relatively a new trooper regiment introduced to canon as toys painted in the same designs as Obi-Wan's 212th, but in green. So I think this is definitely a 442nd trooper due to the fact that it will allow Respawn more freedom to create a story that doesn't conflict with pre-established canon. But if he's a 442nd, then what does that have to do with Ahsoka, as there isn't any connection to Luminara, then Barriss, and so on? Well, this is where the fun begins. The Second Sister. As we saw in several shots in the trailer, the Second Sister plays a large role in the game as an antagonist. The Second Sister is one of a group of lightsaber-wielding Jedi hunters called Inquisitors, and Ahsoka is no stranger to these hunters, as in her book Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston, Ahsoka is tracked by the sixth brother and at the climax faces him and kills him, using his lightsabers to make her own. It's a great read that I highly recommend, not only as a great Star Wars book, but also in preparation for the game, as it focuses on her life and journey after Order 66. But with this information, and given the timeline, we might hear about or come in contact with Ashla or Fulcrum, personas she used after the fall of the Republic to hide her identity. I could just totally see a sort of Assassin's Creed Liberation cameo from Ahsoka, sort of how we saw Connor team up briefly with Aveline, just because it would be a great way to see the return of a fan favorite. It would be fairly easy to do as well, being that it's all digital, and Ashley Eckstein could totally just hop back in the booth for a quick recording session, especially since she's already been working on the character in the Clone Wars Season 7. Rather than trying to bring her back in a movie or something where the portrayal could be weird, as it would have to be a mixture of body paint and prosthetics that we aren't used to seeing because Ahsoka was an animated character. Also, in regards to the Second Sister, we could potentially hear a report or chatter on the death of the sixth brother as a smaller potential Easter egg, either from her comms directly or from stormtroopers in the world, and this is probably more what we'll see rather than a full cameo appearance, but we can definitely hope for something more physical.
Rebellions are built on hope.
The Jedi Starfighter. Another small detail in the early part of the trailer is when we see Cal discover a hidden Jedi starfighter, and I say hidden because I noticed something strange, was that the astromech droid still seems to be intact. So this brings up a number of possibilities as to what this might mean. Possibly the astromech powered down after the death of its Jedi companion, similar to R2 in The Force Awakens when Luke left him with the missing piece of the map. Maybe the Jedi owning the starfighter is still alive and searching for the same thing Cal is. Or more crazy and possible is that this is Mace Windu's starfighter, as it is of slight violet purplish color, and we could see the return of Mace Windu. We also see him in the new trailer for Clone Wars, and the recording booth would be all too easy to utilize for some of these actors, especially since, like how DICE has been doing with Battlefront 2, we've been getting Clone Wars actors' voices with prequel actors' likenesses. So I could totally see Terrence Connor Carson, the voice of Mace Windu, voicing him, but we get a CGI, old, damaged-looking Samuel L. Jackson. Maybe we don't interact with him at all. Maybe the astromech plays a message left behind by him, as he would probably have to abandon a vessel as obvious as a Jedi starfighter. Whatever the case may be, I would love to see a crossover. Stuff like this in the game sort of help bring together the prequels, sequels, and Clone Wars cohesively. We have seen characters like Saw Gerrera make appearances in the Clone Wars, Rogue One, and Rebels, but it would just be nice to see some of these bigger characters come about in creative ways that feel cohesive and give us a sense of what it means to still be a fan of this universe. What do you guys think though? Could we possibly see Ahsoka? That's something you'd want to see? Are there any other potential Jedi or Star Wars characters we could see in the game? Let me know what you think. I would love to know and talk about it with you guys in the comment section below, as I'm extremely excited for this game, and just like with Ghost of Tsushima, this is a game I've been wanting for a long time, just a fully fledged Jedi game after games like Force Unleashed, and I would like to see what we can do in Fallen Order. Hopefully Respawn delivers. I also have a new feature on the channel, the Atlas list, which is a list of games by Atlas Ravenwood, so I'll put it down in the comments down below, and if you have anything to add, feel free to do so. Just a list of games that we're looking to, and I'm definitely putting Fallen Order on there. With all that said, stay hydrated, let them pass in peace, and Excelsior.